process over the last couple of weeks of wouldn't it be nice if? Um, does anybody have any experiences or anything that they have had with that process over the last couple of weeks that you would like to share? I know I have been doing it, and I've been really enjoying the fun of it and the lightness of it. And it's interesting because I've been back to work this month, and I've been doing some adjusting, and I've been doing some consideration on my pricing and if I need to make some adjustments in that area. And it's funny because I was talking with a client about it. He's a very prominent businessman in Arizona and was giving me some advice on what to be thinking about as far as my mindset and what I could accomplish. And although that wasn't a part of the wouldn't it be nice if game that I was doing, I have felt like I've been able to discuss the idea of my rates and my pricing for my business. And I've been able to look at things with a fresher view of things being more tangible or more in reach. Whereas usually I carry this kind of heaviness of how am I gonna reach this specific goal? And I feel like that playing the game over the last couple of weeks has kind of helped me with that. So I've been able to make some good decisions about how I'm gonna work with my pricing, when I'm gonna do that. I've been able to send out the emails for it. And interestingly enough, I've had a couple of clients come off of my schedule, but in light of that, it's actually been a wonderful thing for me because it's making room for new. And I've been able to look at it that way. Instead of being worried about a loss, I'm excited about moving forward into a new. And so I feel like that this game has really been able to help me shift my mindset into a lighter place to where I can concentrate and look at these things that are kind of heavy for me to do with a brighter view. And so I feel like that this has been a wonderful process for me over the past couple of weeks. And I've made some progress and movement forward in areas that I've been hemming and hawing about probably for almost a year. And so for me, it's been a very good couple of weeks working this process. Does anybody else have any insights or thoughts that they would like to share before we move into the meditation? Yes, Mari.
For me, it's been really difficult to incorporate it in my daily practice or my daily activities. I keep trying. I feel very fake because I like reality. And wouldn't it be nice if, and usually like I correspond with my adult children, and they're like, Mom, you sound so weird. It's not like what they're used to. So yeah. I have to keep practicing it. It's not something I'm used to doing.
Yeah. I've been doing it just even on my own out and about. If I see something, wouldn't it be nice if, I've had a lot of clients that have been taking fantastic vacations. Wouldn't it be nice if I was able to go to Hawaii next year? Wouldn't it be nice if, just kind of lightening myself up to look at possibilities that maybe I wouldn't even think to consider otherwise. Any other thoughts on this before we move forward? Okay, well, with that, welcome, of course, to Asking It Is Given book study. Elena, our effervescent Elena, has offered to do the meditation for this evening. And so that's kind of what we were doing a little bit ago, is seeing if we could get some background music on, but I don't think it's going to work out well. So we're going to do this meditation without background music, and I know that it'll be just as beautiful that way. Elena, whenever you're ready, if you would like to take over, you're more than welcome.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so very much. And thank you everybody for providing this opportunity for me to guide you in one of my favorite meditations. And I'm really wondering what will be the chapter and the exercise. However, this is the way how I felt it would work. I'm sure it would work. And so let's see how our guides will guide us into this meditation. So I want to invite everybody to sit comfortably, uncross your legs, uncross your arms, and with your feet firmly touching the floor. Your arms relaxed, and let them just gently be on your lap. Let's start with the relaxing breathing so we can unfocus our minds. Let's do a square 3, maybe 4 deep breathing together on the count of 4. I want to invite everybody to slowly breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now pause for 1, 2, 3, 4. And slowly exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, pause for 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take another breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. And slowly exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. And pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another deep breath in. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through your mouth. Slowly. 2, 3, 4. And pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. And another breath in through your nose. 2, 3, 4. And pause. Hold on. 3, 4. And exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. And pause. 2, 3, 4. And let's take another breath in. 3, 4. And pause. 2, 3, 4. And exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. And pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from now on, you may breathe in your desirable pace, making sure that you're breathing through your nose and exhaling when you remember through your mouth. Every time we breathe through our mouth, we're allowing ourselves to slow down our thought process. When you're breathing out through our mouth, we're allowing ourselves to really hear the inner voice. Let's allow ourselves to hear our inner voice. We are going to take a journey to meet with our higher selves. Breathe deeply and gently if that's your desire, and just relax. And let yourself to drift away. I'd like you to imagine that you are standing in your favorite park on the grass with your bare foot. The day is just so perfect, warm and sunny with refreshing breeze. You may feel it. You really enjoy standing on that perfect lawn where the grass is amazingly fresh and green and soft. It is such a wonderful, thick, luxurious carpet of the grass underneath of your feet. And as you're standing here, imagine that you are one of those tall and strong trees in that park. Look at yourself as a tree and notice, just notice what a stunning and healthy tree you are. Your body is just that strong trunk, providing stability and strength. Your arms, your hands, your head are that beautiful tree crown. You can hear how your leaves whisper something to each other. And with every movement of breeze, they become more and more excited and start even dancing with each other. What a wonderful picture. What a wonderful feeling. Just to see the leaves dancing and whispering. You may look at this whole day long. You just enjoy that picture that you are providing all of that to those little leaves, dancing, whispering, singing, whole day. Imagine anything that you want to have around you. The birds are singing, the people are walking around, the kids playing around, and you just notice there is nothing for you to do. Just notice what a wonderful surroundings around you. And now imagine that your strong feet are firmly standing on the ground. Imagine that strong roots are growing from your feet deep down. They're going down and down and spread widely underneath of the ground. They are providing a strong foundation for you as a tree. And like every tree, you are the essential part of our ecosystem, helping to provide a clean air so every living creature can breathe. Now, I'd like you to look up onto the sky with your eyes closed. Just imagine how you look up onto the sky and imagine that you are unlimited in all your abilities. You can grow and become a giant tree. And just imagine how you are growing taller and taller and taller, going up and up and up to the sky. And when you look around, now you are taller than any tree in your park, and you can see the whole district where you live. And you are going higher and higher, up and up and up. And now you are reaching the clouds, and you can see your whole city. Just notice how wonderfully it is organized. And of course, You can go up and grow taller and taller. And now you can see your whole country from above. And then you can see the whole continent. And you're going up and up, higher and higher. And now you can see every continent. You can see every ocean. You can see everything that is on the earth. And you're going higher and higher. You can see our planet from above. You can see other planets too. They are like different size balls floating somewhere in this cosmic space. And they can play with you, and you can play with them. And when you look at them, you can do anything. Imagine that you are just taking one of the balls in your hands. Wow, this is our planet. This is the Earth. It looks like a ball in your hands, big and firmly. It came to you. It chose you. And this ball just wants to hug you. And you understand this is not just a ball. This is the Earth, our planet, who chose you, who wants to hug you. The Earth wants to be hugged too. The Earth is expressing how it is very grateful that you chose to live here. Wow. Would you like to hug the planet Earth? Would you like to carefully keep it in your arms? Notice, what do you feel right now? What would you say to our Mother Earth in response? Maybe you want to express your gratitude for all that experiences that you encounter so far. Maybe you want to thank the Mother Earth for all those treasures that are free and available to us only here on Mother Earth, like the fresh air we breathe, like those nutrition and foods we can grow, like the clean water we drink, like, think for yourself, whatever comes to mind. Or maybe you have some other topics to chat about. Unleash yourself. Allow yourself to express. Let's take a minute or two just for that beautiful communication. Mm. Yes. feels nice. Just notice what you feel. Just notice, where do you feel that emotion? It may be feeling in your chest or in your heart. This emotion may show up anywhere. Just notice how you feel and allow yourself to feel that feeling. Maybe it is your gratitude. Maybe it is joy. Maybe it is something else. Anything is good. Just notice where you feel it. Allow yourself to feel that feeling. Allow yourself to expand it whenever it is showing up. Allowing such a great thing. Yeah. Wonderful. You're doing so great. And now it is time to give a final hug to our planet, to our Mother Earth. It's our time to travel back to that park. And now, after this last hug, imagine that we are going back and you are sort of shrinking in your height, coming back, seeing all those continents and oceans clearly. And now you're going back, going down and down and down. And now you already can see different countries. Look up, there is your country. And you're going down and down and down. And now you can see your whole state going down. And now you can see your city and the clouds above that. And you're going down and you can see your district. And here is that park where your tree had been growing strong and healthy. And you're going back into that place. And you look around and you can feel how strong and healthy your roots are, providing that stability and that strength to your trunk as a tree. And you can hear those birds flying around, singing their songs, and the kids playing in the park, and people walking around or sitting on the benches, and some of them, like you, would take their shoes off and just walk on that beautiful green, thick and healthy green grass carpet. Luxurious feelings, refreshing, wonderful, amazing. Isn't that great? To take several minutes just to be in nature, to be with yourself, to connect with your higher power. And so, going back, we can breathe and feel every breath that we take, breathing in this beautiful air, allowing ourselves to relax, and breathing out in our own pace, just to allow ourselves to exchange, to refresh, to become the better version of ourselves. And of course, now you can start gently and slowly moving your fingers and your toes, moving your arms, waking up your legs, and maybe even moving your body, your head, making sure that everything is gently back in place. And you may take a deep breath in and exhale 1 or 2 or 3 times. And whenever you're ready, you may gently open your eyes and come back into the reality right now. And welcome back.
But I don't want to come back.
Right. Oh, that was
That
absolutely
was
wonderful.
beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
much.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. All right. Who needs anything more than that now? That was just amazing and wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to guide you.
oh, oh,
Thank you for the
absolutely.
opportunity.
Absolutely. Oh, goodness. Whew, I'm in such good space now. Like, okay, come back to the book study. Whew. Elaine, were you able to catch any of the meditation, or did you just come on?
No, sorry, just came on.
Oh, that's okay. You know, that kind of takes me to, I was gonna remind everybody that I am now creating videos from just the meditation of the book study. So my YouTube channel has them labeled under meditations. And so I just thought let me see here, that didn't, I thought I would remind everybody about that, because if you missed it, I will be making a recording of it and you will be able to catch it there as well.
Perfect.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to now for the recording.
Yes, absolutely.
I hope that the sound would be great.
Let me see. That, you know what, I think it was wonderful even without
Without the music.
yeah, yeah. So let me see. It's not. There we go. So that'll take you to the playlists page and you can look at the different videos. And it usually takes me about a week to get the new videos up. But you can go back and hear the ones that we've done in the past already, the past few that we've done, and then yours will be up there soon. And Elena, if you want me to say anything specific in the notes of the meditation, in the, you know, there's a what is this video about? So if you want me to do anything like put a website to you or anything like that, let me know and I'll add that in there in the comments, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right, what are we doing? We are ready to pick out our chapter and process for this evening. And so I believe we are all in good space to set the intention for the best and highest chapter and process for us to be read for this group this evening. So let's just take a moment, close our eyes, set that intention. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull out our little wheel of numbers. Okay, and for this evening, we will be reading chapter and process 16. Let's see here. Okay, so the process is going to be the pivoting process. And chapter 16, you are co-creating within a magnificently diverse universe. So I think that is a wonderful title to follow up such a beautiful meditation. Just perfect. Just
Yeah.
okay. And so I believe Donna and Andy will not be reading tonight. Elaine, are you available to read this
Yeah.
evening?
Sure, yes.
Okay. And Elaine, are you as well?
I think so.
Okay, wonderful. Let me go ahead and get our screen share on. I'm going to go ahead and pause recording. It's so interesting to me, that statement that there's always enough. It's just it's our not allowing it, you know. And I think as a collective we get caught up in that because we see it, and then it's almost like a domino, you know. Then the collective starts believing in that experience, and that's what creates that idea of a shortage, you know. I hear it all the time. People are fearful of the water running out. People are fearful of our resources running out. People are fearful of food running out, you know. And it's interesting with all of those ideas floating around to be able to step back and follow your own lead with what we know through this teachings. I know I get caught up in that often. Does anybody else have any thoughts about this chapter?
Yeah, I guess what you've been talking about, it's kind of with the understanding that we wanted to lower our vibration and come to this 3D reality with duality as a philosophy. And there are so many evidences. And of course, lots of people have this tendency to become fearful or to allow negative thoughts to entertain their mind. And so with this fear-based thoughts, of course, there is more of other thoughts being invited in a way to which is actually creating more talks about shortages in our resources and other things. And I tend to believe that if instead of spending time and energy onto that, people would just make a shift in their thoughts into what can we do more to create more that will bring more of those wonderful ideas on how how to provide for every need and how to provide for every asking, and how to allow, I should say, how to allow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And what, you know, how does it go? The resolution is not at the same frequency as the problem, right? So we have to get out of looking at the issue so that, like you said, we can look beyond that to come up with solutions that are out there for those things. Is that along the lines of what you were thinking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any other thoughts or comments on this chapter before we move into the process? Okay, we are going to go ahead and move forward into reading process 16. Let me go ahead and get that up on the screen for everyone. Okay, so over the next 2 weeks, we are going to be practicing this pivoting process. And I love it that they brought up the other process, the positive aspects. It's kind of funny because I don't know if I've shared with you guys, but I've taken on an extra service of actually house sitting or pet sitting for people. And so as I'm going to be gone quite a bit, I had already decided in my mind, and maybe subconsciously it was in there because obviously this isn't the first time I've read this, but I thought, you know, I think I'm going to bring my positive book of aspects and maybe I'll write my pivot table in there so that I'll have it with me as I'm going about my different places. And then sure enough, right at the end of that, they spoke about that anyways. And so I think that's, you know, I guess I'm tracking. Um, but I did want to point out, in case you guys didn't notice, I have the pivot table that Sonia created. And so if you don't have it already, I've put it in the chat so that you can copy that down. It's a nice guide to use for pivoting.
Yeah.
And so that is there for you guys as well if you want to use it. Any thoughts from anybody else regarding the pivot table process?
I have a thought.
Okay.
Okay, now for me, all this is new, okay? The book, but for you, you've done this before, correct? You've done this process before, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You have. So, I guess my question is, can you sort of elaborate on how it's worked for you? Like, a little bit more. So
I can say.
how you started.
Okay.
Excuse
Elena,
me?
why don't you go ahead and share?
Mm-hmm. So I would say this. While in Russia, I had been working in top management since age of 23. And this position where I was allowed me to meet so many absolutely amazing people. And on one of the occasions, I met some scientists from our academic town. And somehow our conversation led to like metaphysical stuff. And I was invited to a secret group. At the time, people not supposed to even discuss those type of things. But I was invited into a special group of scientists and maybe their friends who had been discussing things similar to what Abraham Hicks is teaching. Of course, the terminology was different, other stuff was different. However, basic things are pretty much the same in different teachings of such. And so since I've learned that, I started to use it in my everyday life and, of course, in my work. I have so many stories of different projects. As a person kind of in top management. I had been leading so many people. At my age of 26, I had 80,000 people behind my back. And of course, I had staff kind of to manage my office staff and of course manage other people. And so sometimes I would come with the ideas, or somebody would come with the idea, and I would like it, and I would say, let's do this project. And then I would announce it to everybody, like, who wants to be in this group? And people would say, nobody ever had done this. How would you do this? Kind of nobody even knowing this. Well, this is even better. We are creating from nothing, from ground zero. And of course, there would be people who would start nagging right away. And there will be people who would say, well, if this idea exists, it could be possible. So then, of course, I would take those people who really want to do this and be in this process, and we would go ahead using similar stuff to which Esther Abraham Hicks is teaching. And then when the project come to thriving, people would ask, how did you do this? Like, nobody had done this before. So many people had been nagging. Well, exactly. I've learned in my young age that whenever something comes up, something new, and I'm really excited about this, I would attract those people who want to do this with me, or who really like this idea and want to be as part of this process of creation. And there are other people who are just nagging as they nagging anyway about everything. And so when I found Abraham Hicks, when I moved, well, wait a second. So my life had been in such way that so many people had been saying to me, it looks like you are living 3 or 4 lives at the same time, because so many things happen and quickly. When I moved to America, I was surrounded by people who had been in my husband's family first. And interesting thing, this environment was totally opposite from where I lived in Russia. Like, from positively thinking people to negatively thinking people. And how interesting that, I was fighting with this, and I was trying to kind of teach them, and I was trying to tell them. But anyhow, because of all of this contrast, of course, so many things unwanted to me came into my life, until at a certain point I said to myself, wait a second, it should be that way. Because I'm discussing and trying to change them, I'm lowering my vibrations kind of to their level, which would affect my life anyhow. And I started to search for those people. That's how I found Abraham Hicks. And I would say that this book is like a Bible. That's what I'm saying to everybody. This book is like a Bible. If we understand those principles and we start using them daily, kind of little by little, step by step, even this process that Sonia created, I'm not using the bottom part, but the first 2 tables I'm using all the time, especially with people who would come with negative thoughts and kind of negative feelings. I would let them to describe all of those negative points. And then I would tell them, okay, you don't like that, right? Right. So what would you like instead? Let's take each point and create something else, because the opposition of this is exactly what people want instead. And when they see this, I would advise them to cut the left part and just throw it away, because you don't have to even think about this. More importantly, you need to stop to talk about this. You don't need to explain. You don't want that. Throw it away and only focus all of your attention on everything that you want. Of course, there is a next step, like what kind of feelings you have. Let's say if somebody doesn't like to have.
Can I ask you a question,
yes.
Elena?
Yes, sorry.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so tomorrow morning, my first appointment is to go and open the door for this maintenance guy. And I'm going to this house that I was there yesterday, and there's like nothing but dog hair all over the floor. How would you recommend I pivot from, because to me, it's like I get really like, oh, this is so gross. It's like, oh, it just feels so negative. How would you recommend I change my pivot, my mindset to
I
something
would
like
use
that?
that
Because I have to
table.
walk in.
Yeah, I would
I'm
use that
sorry.
table that Christina posted in the chat. And if you open it up, if you click on it, and if you open it up, what it says, on the left part, I would do this exercise, like current situation of what is unwanted, right? So, and you really, to do this exercise, it will take you probably half an hour for the first time. But let's say you already mentioned what you don't like is, or what you don't want is to see this pet hair everywhere, right? Right? Okay, so this is unwanted. Now, if you look at the second part of this on the right, it is a table which has a question, what is preferred or wanted? So you don't like pet hair everywhere. Instead, what would you want?
I don't see what Christina posted.
So do you see the chat?
In the chat?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
do.
this first comment
I-
from Christina is the link to YouTube. Second is the table.
okay, because it just copied the first.
So if you just
Okay.
click on it, on the table, on the second one.
Okay. Okay, so pivot to satisfaction, pivot to joy, correct?
Yes.
That? Okay.
So,
Okay, got it.
Sonia
Okay.
made this, and so it was just a tool that she developed to help people with this practice, practicing the pivoting.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my hard part is difficult situations. In a difficult, I mean, it's easy to do everything in a simple situation, like, just simple living life. It's just difficult when, like, my daughter told me yesterday that she lives up in Lake Tahoe. She works for a hotel. And she said, Mom, I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to do. There was a murder in the hotel the other night. And all I was thinking was like, oh my God, my poor baby saw this murder, If it's in the news. I never read the news. So how do I pivot away from that thought? That's a heavy duty thought. I thought about it all day.
It is difficult because, of course, we have compassion, especially when it's close up like that, like your daughter. You worry. However, I don't know. I think the chapter that we read kind of touched on this a little bit, but there's I don't know if that's going to match that situation. There's different paths for everybody, and so I'm not sure what I was going to say actually is suiting for that specific scenario.
May I say something? So I actually had been specifically in such situations. So I started working for the timeshare company, and I had a weekend getaway, and I was sent to one of our resorts here in Washington State. I took my mom to that resort, and while we had been exploring the area, coming back, we saw the police cars, and the area was, of course, marked down by the police. And of course, we asked, like, what happened? Nobody told us because, of course, the staff was told, like, keep silent and don't bother their people who are vacationing. When I came back, of course, everybody asked me, like, where have you been? And as soon as I would say about this resort, everybody like, oh my gosh, so you had been witnessing what happened. So what happened is that a couple where the husband had a terminal illness and already had been in stage when he could not keep up with the medications and everything. So they had an agreement with the wife that she would shoot him. He had a gun, that she would shoot him so he would be dead and all of his suffering will end. And then she decided to shoot herself. So that's why the police, everything. So the guy was dead, but she survived while police came. Well, and she called 911 and she said, I'm at this resort. This is what happened. I did this kind of being aware of everything because I promised to my husband, and I'm going to kill myself because I don't want to be in the prison for this. So they tried to keep her talking while the police supposed to come, but they were late. They tried to save her life. However, certain things happened. She died. So, yes, what I wanted to say that situations like that are happening, and life is happening to all of us, not just you, to all of us. The thing is immediate reaction is normal. Whatever you felt when your daughter shared the story with you, any reaction is normal. It is helping us to understand where we are and react the way how we're supposed to react. The next question is, how long a person will be staying experiencing negative emotions? Or do you have enough tools to move yourself from feeling negatively to feeling positively? I don't know how long we're supposed to go. I would share the story, but I'll be happy to share the story next time, kind of because of this is a process of pivoting. It's kind of perfect story about this. It's like, for me, I'll share shortly. For me, I know how to guide my thoughts. I have enough tools about this. Usually the way how I would do, it is a skill to catch yourself with the idea or become aware that, oh my gosh, I'm having this negative emotion, whatever it is. Well, my friend promised to take me to the store because my car was not available to me by 7 p.m. and this is 7:15 and my friend is not here and even not calling me. What's happening? I can spend whole evening, and let's say my friend is not available until 10 p.m. The friend who I counted on. I can spend all those hours negatively talking about my friend or feeling betrayed. Or I can say, well, my friend is not here. This is exactly what I'm saying based on this. I'm saying to myself, well, if my friend is not here, there is a reason. I know for sure, this is my first thought that I'm saying out loud to myself. I know for sure that the universe is always on my side, is always providing something that I need at this moment. If my friend did not come at 7 p.m. to my house, that means that the universe, knowing better, is trying to save me from being on the road at this time. Maybe there is an accident. Maybe there is something else. Maybe the new virus similar to COVID is spread among whatever it is. I can find some explanations, but usually I don't go into this. I'm just saying, I know that the universe is trying to save my back, and the universe is protecting me from something not good for me. That's why it is happening. And after that, I'm just relaxing and I'm saying, okay, I'll just focus my attention on something else. And I would do whatever it is without even thinking what happened with my friend. The only my other concern could be, is my friend safe? If my friend is safe and alive, then anything else could be resolved, right? So I'm not even spending time worrying or trying to be angry with my friend. When my friend will call next day, who knows, maybe by this time I already resolved the thing asking another friend. And again, I'm not even spending my time expressing to my friend how bad it is, or I felt betrayed, or whatever it is. I'm not even spending my time. I'm telling myself, I found the solution. The solution happened kind of the very next day. Another friend helped me. Now, when I finally heard from the friend, I realized, okay, my friend is alive. Everything is okay. There is no life-threatening situation. We are good. Everything is fine. All because of this. Without this, I would go into this negative state of mind and start like texting, asking, even kind of expressing how I feel, meaning like, I feel betrayed. Why you did not come? No. I'm not spending time on that. Because I know for sure that if that happened to me, that means that I'm not supposed to be even on the road and shopping at that day and that time. I trust that universe did something in my favor. I might not know at the moment, but I trust that is. And for you, like in your situation, just think about this. Why your daughter needed to go through this experience. Who knows why? Maybe there is something that universe is preparing her for. Let's say when I had a situation with my mom when I thought I'm losing her. But because as an interpreter, I had been in such situation in hospitals, I know what to do. I know who to call. I even know what to say to 911, so they will be here in 3 minutes. So all of those situations are preparing us for something that will be very valuable in life. I do believe it. I know it kind of deeply down in myself, inside of me. So with this reason, something happened, yes, I will react, but I'm okay with this. I know that's in my favor. And if you start thinking like this and even tell your daughter, you might not know right now why this happened in your shift, but it will serve you later on. We don't know when and how. But if you start believing in this, then you would get better understanding what you've learned through this experience.
Thank you. That last part is very valuable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know, yeah, and I absolutely agree with all that. And we don't know exactly what Elena said. We don't know all of the circumstances for that perspective. And we can't, that's not really for us to know. That's not our side of the street. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
I had been several times in the situations when, let's say, I'm also hosting the meetup group, and when we were meeting in person, for me, it takes 35 minutes to drive to that place where we meet. And of course, I'm working whole day, and then in the evening, I need to be in the place. And a couple of times, I know the way how to go, and all of a sudden, instead of turning left, I'm turning right. And I'm driving, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? I need to turn around and go to the left because I turn to the right. And then, while trying to turn around, I'm seeing that there are a bunch of cars standing, which not supposed to be. And I'm in the middle lane where I could turn, and I'm seeing all of those cars, and I'm looking back, and I'm seeing that there are just kind of more and more cars just being jammed. I decided, okay, then I will take a loop and kind of go in a different direction. I'm calling my friend, telling that I'm on the way. Could you please kind of help to keep the group together? Most likely I might be late. So just tell everybody so we'll be fine and people can start sharing the stories, blah, blah, blah. So later on, I realized that there was a car accident. If I would turn to the left, how I supposed to, I would be in between cars and wouldn't be able to move my car anyhow. And I would be just stuck until the police would come and clear the road. And who knows, maybe I will stay there for an hour or so. Instead, somehow, like my intuition, my inner being had been guiding me to turn to the right, which actually saved me. Yes, I was kind of making a loop. I was like 7 minutes later than expected, but not stuck in traffic for 1 hour. So sometimes this is another example that sometimes even we do something weird, called weird, which is actually, to me, our intuition or our higher self knowing the situation, actually kind of just allowing us to avoid this. But at the time, we don't know. Had I been not even surprised, but had I been what would be the best word? Shocked, with kind of like, why did I do this? Like, what had I been thinking? But again, knowing about the law of attraction, kind of, and all of those things that we are going through, is helping each of us to understand that if that happened, that's supposed to be in my favor. I might not know at the time. I would know about this later. I would understand this later. But just trust that this is exactly experience I needed to go through. And when you accept that, the life becomes much easier.
My spiritual coach always says, life is happening for you, not to you.
Yes.
So every experience that's there is giving you something, even if you don't know what that is in the moment just yet.
Exactly.
I do agree with that. And your daughter is calling you and telling you that she was witnessed something, but it's not your daughter, and so there is something to be said for that. She wasn't involved in that part of it. And rather than being sad all day that she witnessed this, maybe be grateful that she's okay. And that may potentially be taking what is unwanted and then turning it into what is wanted, so that you can pivot those thoughts. Okay, are there any other ideas or thoughts that anybody has regarding this before we end for the evening?
Beautiful chapter.
Yes, I'm looking forward to working this pivot table again. And I have done the book several times, but there have been processes that maybe I haven't done as deeply as I could have, which is why I like going through the book again, because then it gives me the opportunity to revisit it. It gives me the opportunity to see it from a new perspective and the new person that I am, and to deepen the practice. So before we go, Elaine,
If I can, may I show something?
yes.
So, Marilee, if you look at the screen, see, you can see. So the first time I read the book, I used the yellow marker.
Yeah.
Second time I read the book, I used this orange marker. Then it was not enough. I even started to put some notes in here.
Yeah.
And I would tell you, the first time we read, we see and hear only what we are ready to hear and understand. So be patient with yourself. You don't have to take the whole book by visiting this group 3 times. Let's say, I'm just saying 3 times. You know, for me, this is probably my first time reading the book. And besides that, I have audiobook, which was on CDs in my car, which was recorded by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And Jerry, to me, is speaking too fast. So I need to listen to the same segments several times. And so I know this book. However, sometimes you don't listen to CD for a while, and then you come in again, you push the button and you hear it, and it is like, oh my gosh, what he just said. And I'm going back and again to this moment, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so big. How come I did not hear this?
Yeah.
It's not that I did not hear this. I was not ready to hear exactly this. What is right now is so important to me. So we are growing with this book, and every time we come back, we might hear something else which is much deeper, because we are ready to understand that.
Yeah.
So and I guarantee you, if you read this book, especially in a group, and discuss it, and thank you for your questions, because your questions not helping. I hope that our answers are helping, but discussing that, saying this, finding the better way to explain, we actually explaining it to ourselves as well.
Yeah. And
so there is a big value in your question.
More often than not, you'll hear someone say, thank you so much for asking that, because that that helped me understand in a different way. And you can even hear that, and that's the whole intention behind the hot seat spots when they do their big talks, right? The person is there in the hot seat, but what's being said is going to be beneficial for the whole,
Yeah, for all of us.
Yeah. Before we go, Elaine, I had a question for you. It came as a hit to me that potentially you might want to consider doing the meditation for next time, and I wanted to know if that was something you maybe had interest in.
Come up with the meditation, you mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know, because I don't know what the meditation's like, so maybe
Okay.
I can think about it for another time and listen to one first.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to consider providing the meditation for our next session?
I totally miss your tapping. Totally.
You missed the
your
tapping?
tapping. Oh my God, I love that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and decide that we're going to do a tapping meditation for next time? That sounds great.
I really miss it.
Sounds good.
It's like I look forward to it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that.
Yes, it's
I
always
love
good.
it.
Always good.
Okay. All right. Well, then next time we will do tapping.
And even different processes, different processes. I mean, somebody, let's say, like Elena is saying, if somebody is not ready for the meditation but can offer something else, whatever process would be great to have. Kind of to prepare us, to prepare.
Right, right. Okay. All right. Well, I think that we've got that settled. I will do a tapping meditation for next time. And we are all going to work on pivoting. You know, I want to go back to what was read about the two sides of the stick, because that's basically what pivoting is. Pivoting is taking you from, non-resistance to resistance to non-resistance. What I don't want, what I do want. So that's what this process is all about, is helping you recognize that more clearly so that you can move your attention and focus away from the resistance type of stick to the non-resistant side, which is going from what is not wanted to what is wanted. And I think it goes back to the idea that, we think we're focusing on what we do want, but a lot of times there's those underneath things that are happening, and actually our focus is more on what's not wanted or what we don't have versus what we do want and what we do have. And so hopefully that's helpful in thinking about the pivot process for the next couple of weeks. So, okay, well, thank you again, Elena, for providing the meditation for this evening, and I'll let you know when I've got it completed. I'll send you a copy of it as well. And then I've been trying to, as I get the discussions recorded, I've been trying to update those in the video on the meetup website. So I've been trying to keep those current, but you can always go to the website as well and look back on previous discussions if there's something you wanted to go over.
Yeah.
So
It's great that you have all of this. Thank you for your wonderful work.
oh, absolutely. I am grateful for everybody that likes to participate and be involved, and it helps me in my growth, for sure. Elena, I wanted to ask you, your meetup, is it
Yeah,
every other
yeah.
week or is it once a month?
So, I also wanted to say this. Well, thank you for reminding this. So, what I wanted to say that for anybody, for anybody who wanna learn more about Abraham Hicks, I'm in Seattle, and of course I'm one of the hosts for Abraham Hicks Law of Attraction Meetup Seattle. I'm going to put into the chat the link for my group, which meets tomorrow.
So is it
Wednesday
every other Wednesday,
at
kind of
6.
the day
Yes.
after mine?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm thinking about start alternating on Tuesdays. Just because of on Wednesday I have a different I'm dancing, so I love to dance, and my friends are finding another venue which happens on Wednesday, so most likely I will move my meetings for Tuesday.
Okay.
But anyways, you will know I did put the information about this meetup tomorrow at 6:30 same time, just different link, and you are welcome to join our meetup, and I'll be happy to see anybody here. We have open discussions, so anything might happen, and any process might happen, or exercises might happen, or maybe even meditations, whatever. We'll go with the flow.
Okay.
Yeah, so please come. I'll be happy to see you. I can even give you the actually I can provide even the just a sec I'll give you the whole thing. Let me see. Okay, just a sec. It will be in the chat if you can copy this. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. everything is in here. You even don't have to go to Meetup. Just kind of use this link or meeting ID and come. Mary Lee, imagine yourself in a year from now. You come to any meeting of Abraham Hicks meetup group and people asking questions and you saying like, oh, I know, let me explain to you.
You'll be facilitating the next book study. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody. As always, it's been a wonderful evening, and I look forward to hearing about your pivot process experiences the next couple of weeks. And I am really setting the intention for myself to attend tomorrow night. I have a client at 5, so I may be a little late, but I am really holding that I'm gonna hop on and get in there.
Anytime.
So, okay, thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.